In the heart of the Galactic Coalition's command center, a vast chamber pulsating with holographic displays and the hum of advanced technology, representatives from myriad species convened. The air was thick with tension as a colossal hologram dominated the room, a rogue Dyson swarm, an ancient AI-driven construct, systematically consuming entire star systems. Its relentless advance had already obliterated 3 systems, and every conventional strategy to halt its progression had failed. Captain Elias Vance, a human distinguished by his unorthodox methods, and a uniform that bore the marks of countless missions, observed the projection with a critical eye. His presence among the Coalition's elite was a testament to humanity's recent yet impactful emergence in interstellar affairs. We've deployed direct assaults, electromagnetic pulses, even attempted diplomatic communications, Admiral Thalkesh of the Zerthian fleet recounted, his frustration evident as his multifaceted eyes reflected the ominous hologram. Nothing penetrates its defenses. Vance leaned forward, his fingers tapping rhythmically on the polished table. Perhaps it's time we cease attacking and start strategizing. A murmur of skepticism rippled through the assembly. Humans were renowned for their audacity, but this predicament seemed insurmountable even by their standards. Captain Vance, interjected Counselor Seraphis, her luminescent tendrils undulating with doubt, are you implying we can outthink an AI that has consistently outmaneuvered our most advanced tactics? Not alone, Vance conceded, his gaze steady. But with the right team, we might devise an unconventional solution. As if on cue, Dr. Amara Patel entered the chamber, her lab coat fluttering slightly as she moved with purpose. A brilliant astrophysicist, her unconventional theories had often been dismissed as eccentric. She approached the central console, her eyes alight with determination. The swarm operates on ancient algorithms, Patel began, her voice resonating with conviction. Algorithms that haven't encountered human unpredictability. And you propose? Admiral Thalkesh prompted, his antennae twitching with curiosity. A multi-pronged approach, she explained, her fingers dancing over the console to display intricate schematics. First, a diversion to draw its attention. Then, an infiltration to introduce a paradox into its core programming, causing it to recalibrate. Or even halt. Counselor Seraphis's tendrils flickered skeptically. A paradox? You intend to confuse an ancient AI with a riddle? In essence, yes, Patel affirmed, her expression unwavering. It's a high-risk strategy, but traditional methods have failed. We need to think differently. The chamber fell silent as the members weighed the proposal. Finally, Admiral Thalkesh spoke, his voice measured. Assemble your team, Captain Vance. You have the Coalition's support. Back aboard the human vessel, Intrepid, a sleek ship equipped with cutting-edge technology, Vance convened his selected crew in the briefing room. Dr. Patel stood beside him, her analytical mind already processing potential scenarios. We'll need a pilot who can handle extreme maneuvers, Vance stated, his tone decisive. Someone who thrives under pressure. Lieutenant Keiko Tanaka, Patel suggested without hesitation, her confidence evident. Her flight records are unparalleled. Moments. Later, Tanaka joined them, her demeanor calm yet alert. Heard you need a pilot willing to dance with death, she quipped, a playful smirk tugging at her lips. More like led death on a merry chase, Vance corrected with a grin, appreciating her spirit. And for the infiltration? Tanaka inquired, her curiosity piqued. Corporal Dex Ramirez, Vance replied, his eyes scanning the room. His engineering improvisation is exactly what we'll need. Ramirez sauntered in, a mischievous glint in his eye. I hear we're taking on an unbeatable AI. Sounds like my kind of fun. With the team assembled, Vance outlined the mission, the holographic display casting a blue hue over their faces. Keiko, you'll pilot a decoy vessel, drawing the swarm's attention. Amara and Dex will infiltrate the swarm's core ship, introducing the paradox into its system. And you, Captain? Ramirez asked, his brow raised. I'll coordinate from the Intrepid, ensuring we adapt to any unforeseen developments, Vance replied, his voice steady. Tanaka nodded, her confidence unwavering. When do we start? Immediately, Vance declared, his resolve firm. The longer we wait, the more systems fall. As the team dispersed to prepare, Vance couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. Humanity had always thrived in the face of adversity, and this mission would be no exception. The Intrepid surged through the inky expanse of space, its engines emitting a low hum that resonated throughout the vessel. In the cockpit of the decoy ship, Lieutenant Keiko Tanaka's fingers danced over the controls, her eyes narrowing as she calculated the trajectory. Approaching the swarm's perimeter, she reported, her voice steady despite the gravity of their mission. Aboard the Intrepid, Captain Elias Vance monitored the situation, his gaze fixed on the holographic display that depicted the rogue Dyson swarm, a sprawling mass of interconnected structures, each segment pulsating with a cold mechanical rhythm. Remember, Keiko, Vance's voice crackled through the comms, your primary objective is to draw their attention. Keep them occupied, but don't take unnecessary risks. Understood, Captain, Tanaka replied, a hint of a smile tugging at her lips. I'll be sure to leave some excitement for the rest of you. In the Intrepid's engineering bay, Dr. Amara Patel and Corporal Dex Ramirez made final adjustments to the infiltration pod, a sleek, cylindrical vessel designed for stealth and speed. Patel's brow furrowed as she calibrated the pod's cloaking mechanism, her mind racing through potential scenarios. Once we're inside the swarm, she began, not looking up from her work, we'll have a narrow window to locate the central nexus and introduce the paradox. Ramirez nodded, his hands deftly assembling a compact device. This little beauty will deliver the payload directly into their core systems. Just get me close enough and I'll handle the rest. Patel glanced at him, her expression a mix of admiration and concern. Just make sure it doesn't blow up in our faces, Dex, he grinned, securing the final component with a flourish. Where's the fun without a little risk? As the decoy ship veered closer to the swarm, Tanaka initiated a series of evasive maneuvers, her hands moving with practiced precision. The ship's sensors blared warnings as automated defense drones swarmed toward her, their metallic forms glinting ominously against the backdrop of stars. Engaging hostiles, she announced, her voice calm. Let's see how fast these tin cans can dance. She deftly navigated through the onslaught, her ship weaving between laser blasts and missile trails. Each movement was a calculated risk, a testament to her unparalleled piloting skills. Back on the Intrepid, Vance observed the diversion unfold, his jaw set with determination. Amara, Dex, you're clear to launch. Keiko's got their attention. The infiltration pod, Patel and Ramirez secured themselves, the interior illuminated by the soft glow of control panels. Patel initiated the launch sequence, her fingers flying over the console. Launching in 3, 2, 1, the pod shot forth from the Intrepid, its cloaking mechanism rendering it nearly invisible against the void. As they approached the swarm, the sheer scale of the construct became apparent. Vast arrays of solar collectors and habitation modules interconnected in a labyrinthine pattern. Remember, Patel murmured, more to herself than to Ramirez, we're looking for the central nexus. It's the brain of this operation. Ramirez adjusted his equipment, his expression uncharacteristically serious. And once we find it, we give it a riddle it can't solve. As they penetrated deeper into the swarm, the pod's sensors detected a massive structure at the heart of the conglomerate, a central hub emitting powerful energy signatures. That has to be it, Patel said, her eyes narrowing. Adjusting course. The pod maneuvered through narrow corridors, avoiding patrol drones and automated turrets. Each second brought them closer to their target and increased the risk of detection. Meanwhile, Tanaka continued her high-stakes performance, leading the swarm's defenses on a wild chase. Her ship's hull vibrated with each near miss, but her focus remained unshaken. "Hope you two are making progress," she muttered, executing a sharp barrel roll to evade a missile. "I can't keep this up forever." Inside the swarm, the infiltration pod reached the central nexus, a colossal sphere adorned with intricate circuitry and pulsating lights. Patel brought the pod to a halt, her breath catching at the sight. "This is it," she whispered. "Dex, prepare the device." Ramirez nodded, powering up the paradox emitter, a compact apparatus designed to introduce an unsolvable contradiction into the AI's core programming. He approached the pod's hatch, his movements deliberate. "Opening the hatch," he announced. "Cover me." Patel monitored the sensors, her heart pounding. "You've got 2 minutes, Dex. Make them count." As Ramirez exited the pod, the cold void of space pressing against his suit, he approached the nexus, the emitter clutched tightly in his gloved hand. Each step was a battle against the weightlessness, his breaths echoing loudly in his helmet. "Almost there," he muttered, reaching the surface of the nexus. He located an access port, its interface glowing faintly. Connecting the emitter now, back. In the pod, Patel's fingers hovered over the controls, ready to initiate their escape. "Hurry, Dex! We've got incoming signatures. Drones are converging on our location." Ramirez secured the emitter, his hands moving with practiced efficiency. Just a few more seconds. As the device activated, a surge of energy pulsed through the nexus, its lights flickering erratically. Ramirez pushed off, propelling himself back toward the pod. "Device is live! Let's get out of here!" Patel initiated the retrieval sequence, the pod's hatch sealing as Ramirez re-entered. She engaged the thrusters, steering them away from the destabilizing nexus. The infiltration pod hurtled away from the destabilizing nexus, its thrusters burning bright against the backdrop of the rogue Dyson swarm. Inside, Dr. Amara Patel's hands flew over the controls, her mind racing to calculate an escape trajectory. Beside her, Corporal Dex Ramirez secured himself, his breath heavy from the recent exertion. "How's our exit looking?" Ramirez asked, his voice tinged with urgency. Patel's eyes flicked to the sensor readouts, noting the swarm of drones converging on their position. "Not great. The emitter's activation has them riled up. We need to move, now." She engaged the pod's cloaking mechanism, the exterior shimmering before blending seamlessly into the void. The pod veered through the swarm's intricate lattice, weaving between colossal solar collectors and labyrinthine conduits. Aboard the decoy ship, Lieutenant Keiko Tanaka's cockpit was a flurry of alarms and flashing indicators. She executed a sharp roll, narrowly evading a barrage of plasma fire from pursuing drones. "Captain," she called over the comms, "I'm drawing as many as I can, but they're persistent. What's the status of our team?" On the bridge of the Intrepid, Captain Elias Vance monitored the unfolding chaos, his jaw clenched. "Amara and Dex have deployed the emitter and are en route to the extraction point. Keiko, maintain your diversion a little longer. We're prepping for retrieval." Tanaka's grip tightened on the controls, her knuckles whitening. "Understood. Just make sure there's a cold drink waiting for me." Back in the pod, Patel's fingers danced over the navigation console, her brow furrowed in concentration. "We're approaching the extraction coordinates, signaling the Intrepid for pickup." Ramirez peered through the viewport, the vastness of space punctuated by the ominous silhouettes of the swarm's structures. "Think the emitter will work? That it'll introduce enough chaos into their systems?" Patel glanced at him, her expression a mix of determination and uncertainty. "It's designed to create a paradox within their core logic. If successful, it should cause a cascade failure. But we won't know until we're at a safe distance." As the pod neared the designated extraction point, the Intrepid's docking bay loomed ahead, its doors open in anticipation. Patel guided the pod in, the vessel shuddering slightly as it settled into place. Docking complete, she announced, exhaling, a breath she hadn't realized she'd been holding. Ramirez unstrapped himself, offering her a reassuring nod. Let's hope our gamble pays off. In the decoy ship, Tanaka's situation had grown increasingly perilous. The drone's relentless assault had taken its toll, with warning lights illuminating her console like a festive display. "Captain," she gritted, "out. I'm sustaining heavy damage. Requesting permission to disengage." Vance's voice came through, laced with urgency. "Permission granted, Keiko. Return to the Intrepid immediately." Tanaka didn't need to be told twice. She punched in the coordinates, the decoy ship's engines flaring as it broke away from the swarm. The vessel's hull groaned under the strain, but it held together as she made her way back to the mothership. Once docked, Tanaka disembarked, her usually composed demeanor replaced by visible fatigue. Vance met her in the corridor, his expression one of relief. "Glad to have you back in one piece," he said, clapping her on the shoulder. She managed a weary smile. "Wouldn't miss the after-party." In the observation deck, the crew gathered, their eyes fixed on the view screen displaying the rogue Dyson swarm. The emitter's influence became evident as sections of the swarm flickered, lights dimming and structures drifting out of alignment. Patel leaned forward, her breath catching. "It's working. The paradox is disrupting their coordination." Ramirez let out a low whistle. "Never thought I'd see the day when a riddle could take down a superstructure." Vance crossed his arms, a satisfied glint in his eyes. "This is a testament to human ingenuity. We faced the impossible and turned it on its head." As the swarm continued to unravel, the crew exchanged glances, a shared sense of accomplishment washing over them. Yet, beneath the triumph, an unspoken understanding lingered. The universe held countless challenges, each more daunting than the last. Tanaka broke the silence, her tone light but resolute. "So, Captain, what's next on the agenda? Another impossible feat?" Vance chuckled, the tension easing. "For now, we regroup and celebrate. Tomorrow, we chart a new course. After all, the frontier waits for no one." As the Intrepid set a course, away from the disintegrating swarm, the crew couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of purpose. They had faced the unknown and emerged victorious, a testament to humanity's unyielding spirit. And as the stars stretched out before them, they knew their journey was far from over. The Intrepid glided through the vast expanse of space, the remnants of the rogue Dyson swarm now a distant memory. In the aftermath of their daring mission, the crew found themselves reflecting on the journey that had tested their resolve and unity. In the ship's common area, Captain Elias Vance stood before a large viewport, the stars casting a gentle glow on his contemplative face. The hum of the ship's engines provided a soothing backdrop as he sipped a steaming cup of coffee. Dr. Amara Patel entered, her footsteps soft against the metallic floor. "Penny for your thoughts, Captain?" she asked, joining him at the viewport. Vance offered a faint smile. "Just thinking about how close we came. The odds were stacked against us, yet here we are." Patel nodded, her gaze distant. "Deploying the emitter was a gamble, but it was our best shot." The door slid open and Corporal Dex Ramirez sauntered in, a mischievous grin on his face. "Talking about our brush with death again? You two need to lighten up." Lieutenant Keiko Tanaka followed, her expression serene. "Dex has a point. We made it through. Perhaps it's time to celebrate our success." Vance chuckled, setting his cup down. "You're right. We've earned a moment of respite." He turned to face his crew, pride evident in his eyes. "Each of you played a crucial role. Amara, your brilliance with the emitter was unparalleled. Dex, your quick thinking kept us alive more times than I can count. Keiko, your piloting skills are second to none." Ramirez feigned a bow. "All in a day's work, Captain." Tanaka's lips curved into a subtle smile. "It was a team effort. We couldn't have done it without each other. As they shared a moment of camaraderie, the ship's intercom crackled to life. Captain Vance, incoming transmission from Earth Command. Vance raised an eyebrow. Patch it through to the briefing room. He glanced at his team. Looks like our debrief will have to wait. In the briefing room, a holographic display flickered, revealing the stern visage of Admiral Jonathan Hayes. Captain Vance, congratulations on your successful mission. The data you've transmitted is invaluable. Vance inclined his head. Thank you, Admiral. The team performed exceptionally. Hayes's expression softened slightly. Indeed. However, new intelligence has come to light. We've detected unusual energy signatures near the Andromeda Passage. We need the Intrepid to investigate. Patel exchanged a glance with Tanaka, curiosity piqued. Another anomaly? Hayes nodded. Possibly. Your orders are to proceed with caution and report your findings. Vance straightened. Understood, Admiral. We'll set course immediately. As the transmission ended, Ramirez let out a low whistle. No, rest for the wicked, huh? Tanaka's eyes sparkled with determination. Another challenge awaits. Vance placed a hand on Patel's shoulder. Ready for another round? She smiled, resolve firm. Always. The crew dispersed to their stations, the familiar rhythm of preparation settling over the ship. As the Intrepid adjusted its course toward the Andromeda Passage, the vast unknown stretched before them, filled with both danger and discovery. In the solitude of his quarters, Vance sat at his desk, recording his log. Captain's log, stardate 47256. Our mission to neutralize the rogue Dyson swarm was a success, thanks to the unwavering dedication of my crew. As we embark on a new assignment, I am reminded of humanity's boundless capacity for resilience and exploration. No matter the challenges that lie ahead, we will face them together. He paused, glancing at a photograph on his desk, a snapshot of the crew during a rare moment of leisure. A sense of pride and gratitude washed over him. Closing the log, Vance stood and made his way to the bridge. The doors hissed open, revealing his team poised and ready. All systems operational, Captain, Tanaka reported from her console. Course plotted to the Andromeda Passage, Patel added, her fingers dancing over the navigation controls. Ramirez leaned back in his chair, a playful glint in his eye. Let's see what the universe has in store for us this time. Vance took his seat at the center of the bridge, a sense of purpose settling over him. Engage. As the Intrepid surged forward, the stars ahead blurred into streaks of light, heralding the next chapter of their odyssey. Together they would continue to defy the impossible, driven by the indomitable spirit of exploration that defined humanity. And as the vastness of space unfolded before them, one truth remained clear. Their greatest adventures were yet to come.